complete. Mission coordinates locked. Hellpods primed.
All right, I was muted, so let's try that again. Take two on that. Good morning. It is Wednesday. We were gonna play the new Lord of the Rings game. You know, it looked like Stardew Valley. It looked like a lot of fun. You know, it was a cozy game. I really wanted to play it. And then the reviews finally came out just a few hours before release, and those were very critical reviews. Like when the best review you can get out of it was, well guys, it's not as bad as everyone says. You know it's gonna be bad. So we have decided let's hold off on wasting money on it, and we will try it another day, I guess. So we will wait for it to go down in price, I think, before I buy it, or come to like Gamefly or something, because it definitely looks like it is flawed, I guess is the term I would use for it. The nice way of putting it, I guess, would be very flawed. So we'll play Helldivers instead. Grounded 2 just came out into early access, so we might give Grounded 2 a try here soon. I didn't really try the first one, but I heard a lot of great things about it. So we have Grounded. We're just about ready to hit August, which means we've got Metal Gear Solid Delta coming out here soon. That is, of course, an absolute must. Probably going to be the best game of the year. Though it's, you know, it's always unfair when there's a remix saying, what's the best game? Well, is it the best game of the year? Because, like, it's just, it's a game that already came out. Like, they knew that it was a good game. That's why there's already, like, a remake for it, right? So I don't necessarily know if that one deserves an award, but I do think it is going to be an incredible experience. And I'm super ready to try out the multiplayer mode. Not Hideo Kojima, he's no longer associated with it. They said that there's going to be an exclusive mode built for it, so kind of excited to see what that exclusive mode is going to look like, that multiplayer. They showed like a lot of camouflage, a lot of things like that, so I think it's going to be a good time. I'm going to drop that down just a little bit so the mic's not quite in my eye. So, Super Earth is once again under attack. We've got to collect samples is our goal here. So, we're just gonna destroy everything, collect some samples, run away, do our duty, and we finally unlocked the warp pack. So, we're gonna be playing around with the warp pack a little bit as well. So, let's handle this, and then hopefully we can destroy that Shrieker's nest as well, and we'll just take care of all the objectives right up front. And hopefully we can get that smelly guy over that. I swear those are like the hardest units in the game. Those guys, for whatever reason, are very tough, and they shouldn't be. Welcome in, everyone. I see we just got a huge spike of people coming in, so hello, good morning. If you have played Tales of the Shire, tell me about your experience with that. I'm still hopeful that like the reviews will come out and people are like, nah, the reviews are absolutely wrong. Like it is not nearly as bad as everyone says. But I've only seen one review that says that. I don't necessarily trust that one review. So I want to spend my money on it. I want to play it. It just does not look like it is going to respect me paying for it. Fire, good morning. Good morning. Hello, everyone. LNBL, also good morning. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Hope you all are having a good Wednesday. We've almost made it through the week. We've almost made it to August. And if you're on the coast anywhere, hopefully you're staying safe. We got last night a tsunami warning because Russia got hit by like one of the top 10 largest earthquakes we have in our recorded earthquake history. Like absolutely huge earthquakes. So hopefully you are staying safe out there if you happen to be in an area that has like a tsunami warning zone. That was definitely shocking to see. Fire, it's evening there. Awesome. I do get a lot of people from all around the world since I stream super early in the morning. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at, so we always get an interesting mix of people from all around the world, which is pretty cool. Where are you at that it's evening? Alright, we get one shot at this. Make it count. We did it. You're in Maldives. I can't say I know where that is. My American ignorance is showing. Go figure. Another call-in? Are you dude serious here? All right, we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. It seems like, and blow this up manually because we are not making very much progress sitting here with these call-ins. Alright, let's grab that. What game is this? This is Helldivers 2. It came out last February, and it is an absolute must-play game. It is one of truly, I truly believe, one of the greatest games to come out in the modern era of gaming. It's got great PvE, it's got great lore, it's just a ton of fun. It's coming to Xbox at the end of August. So if you have an Xbox, you're gonna get to enjoy it here soon, and you definitely should. Again, oh, hello. That dude came out of nowhere. It is not on mobile, no. I wish it were, but not on mobile. It's PC, PlayStation, and soon to be Xbox. This isn't the coziness of the Shire, so I was just talking about that. So I really did want to play the new Lord of the Rings game today. Like, it was on my list to buy. I really wanted to play it and enjoy it, but the reviews are so negative for it that I can't justify wasting my money on it. Like, when IGN is giving the game a 4 out of 10, and that's IGN, who typically overrates games like no other, like, you know it's not going to be a good game. And, like, all the reviews are saying basically the same thing so far, which is that it's got, like, PlayStation 2 graphics and unbearably long and hand-holdy introduction. Like, I haven't heard anything good about it. So I decided I'm going to save my money. I will probably get it when it's on sale, or I'll GameFly it. But for the time being, I just didn't see a point in wasting my money on it. Like, it truly does look like it's got PlayStation 2 graphics. Like, it looks ugly and repetitive, and just, it looks unfun. So we're gonna hold off on it. I do want to play it. I do want to experience it. I do hope that I'm wrong. I also heard that there's a lot of issues with glitches and crashes and things like that, that the game is very unstable and very unfinished as well. So again, I just heard nothing positive about the game, so I want to enjoy it, I want to play it, but it just doesn't seem like the smartest move right now. And as we've talked about, I overspent this month on renovating my bedroom and all that, so now is not the time to waste money. So we're just going to hold off for a little bit. But we will play it eventually. I'll probably get it from GameFly. Next we have Death Stranding 2 is coming out next. So I'm excited to play the walking simulator on the beach. It's gotten some great reviews, so I'm excited to see what they can do with Death Stranding 2. And then Metal Gear Solid Delta, of course, is coming out this month as well. So we've got plenty of games to play, so we missed out on one game, but you know, we'll play some other ones. We're having a bad time here. Oh, there's an impaler here. Let's get a machine gun turret to help me out here. Delta Force is free as well. Which one is Delta Force? Was that the Call of Duty that's being made in China? Because I did play a demo for, I think it was Delta Green, maybe I played the demo for, that had a lot of negative reviews on it as well. And it's so tough what I really hate to see is there's a lot of people who give video games a negative review for things that aren't like, I guess I wouldn't give a game a negative review for, so it's hard to tell. Like, you'll get reviews where it says like, this is an absolutely amazing game and super fun, but it uses de novo, so 0 stars, I hate it. Or it's got an anti-cheat and I don't like that, so 0 stars. Or the game is based out of China and I don't trust it, 0 stars. Like, are those really reasons to rate a game poorly? Like, it's really hard to tell, is the game actually like a bad game? Or is it just you don't like this thing and so you're giving it a bad review even though it doesn't deserve it, right? So it's really hard to tell sometimes whether a game actually has a negative review or if it's just people being negative. I guess it's the same thing for Tales of the Shire. Right now, Tales of the Shire is sitting at a mixed review on Steam, but most of those game reviews are very straightforward about, we don't like this because the graphics are bad, the tutorial's bad, the story is bad, all those things. So it's a little bit more straightforward on why people are calling it bad. Okay, can I finally do something? I feel like this entire time I've spent running away from things. I haven't actually contributed to the game. It's an extraction looter shooter battlefield style game mode. Yes, okay, so I played that game. And that is exactly what happens. It got negative reviews because of Tencent being involved in it, and them saying that all the extras in the background were like Chinese spyware, and that it was being used to use your computer for NFTs and a bunch of negative things. But I didn't know if there was actually any truth to it, or if it was just the usual gamers shouting loudly about things that they don't understand, because that's what gamers do. I do remember playing it, though, the demo, though, and having a lot of fun. Basically, I just was a medic in the background, sat in the background, and did medic things, just resurrecting people for points. Which is always my favorite thing. If a shooter has, like, has the ability to revive people, like the shock paddles. Like, when they first introduced shock paddles into Battlefield, and you had the ability to take people out with shock paddles, that was my absolute favorite thing to do, was to shock paddle people and get kill points for shock paddling people. Absolutely loved that. Can't believe I missed that shot. That was bogus, man. Okay, we hit that shot. Where is this impaler at? This impaler's been chasing me forever and ever, but I don't actually see his physical body. Where is this dude tormenting me from? It's all BS claims. I could see that for like AB, but they're too big for that now, but not for Delta Force. Games based on an older PlayStation game. Black Hawk Down. I heard that the old Black Hawk Down game was really good. That was one that I missed out on, but I heard that the old Black Hawk Down game was really good. Another game that's really good that I'm giving another chance to, Ready or Not, seems to be out of early access, and people are actually like playing the game now. So I've been playing Ready or Not, the SWAT simulator game, and that has been such a fun game to play. I also, I've been making a video, and I needed some footage for the video, so I went out and played a game called Hatred, which with a title like that should tell you everything you need to know about the game. But Hatred is an adult-only game that came out in, I want to say like 2016, 2018, and the game got the adult-only rating because of like its sheer edginess. Like, there's no nudity as far as I can tell. It's not adult-only because of like naked things or sexuality. It's purely because, oh, excuse me, the game you play as a loner incel who wants to cause as much suffering in the world before the cops shoot him. So you have to go around executing innocent people while screaming edgy things at them after leaving your mother's basement. And it got the dreaded adult-only tag on it. And like, it's not even a good game. That's the thing. Like, they clearly made the game to sell just purely based on hype of the game. Like, they didn't put any effort into actually making it a good game. They just thought, oh, people see that it's an adult-only, super edgy game, and they're going to buy it. And that worked. It definitely got the notoriety. People bought it. But man, it's not a great game. But did I feel gross playing as an incel making weapons in your basement and then going out and slaughtering innocent civilians. Like, it's such a gross premise, but it was perfect for a lot of people have been recently asking on like the Catholic forums, should Catholics play violent video games? It's a topic that's been around since, you know, the days of Mortal Kombat because of the violence in Mortal Kombat. So I needed some footage of a game to drive home the point of like, not all violence in video games is bad, but the intent matters. And when you're making wanton violence just for the edgy, trying to be as shocking and disgusting as possible, maybe that's a game we shouldn't play. And I just don't think anyone should play that game. It's not like, again, it's not like, oh, it's going to ruin you or it's going to turn you into a Satanist. It's so evil. It's just not a good game, not a fun game. But also maybe we shouldn't be supporting those studios who are making those kinds of games, you know? It was horrible. It was very horrible. And the most horrible part about it, and it should never shock you, is if you go into the comments section of the game, there's a lot of people who it's hard to tell, are they LARPing or are they just the kind of people who are attracted to this kind of game, who are saying this is the perfect game to play after a breakup because this game perfectly describes my ex, or this game really describes how I feel, or things like the truly like the gross incels who are lost into it. Like, oh man, you're not seeing that this is like satire or edgy. You're taking this as a manifesto, and that's a really, really bad thing. And that's I've talked about that so much, but it's so worrying to me how many people truly like have no ability for media literacy. Like okay, I was watching My Hero Academia the other day. Love My Hero Academia. I spend some time in the forum. I always regret spending time in the My Hero Academia forum. But in one of the episodes of My Hero Academia, and it's in the first season, so, you know, minor spoilers, but the show's been out since like 2016, so come on, barely spoilers. But in the very beginning, Deku saves Ochaka from the falling robot. And he gets a bunch of rescue points for it, and they very pointedly point out multiple times that, one, that the whole point of the test is to see what the people are made of and if they can truly be heroes. They point out that Deku is the only person who stops to help Ochako because everyone else runs away to get more points because they care more about passing the test than actually being a hero. And like they very, very, very point out all these different things, and yet there's still people who have watched that scene, who have watched it multiple times, and they go on the internet and be like, Deku cheated to get into the academy. He should have made, obviously All Might pulled some strings. Like, there's no way that saving one person was worth enough points to bring him in. Like, my dude, it literally spoon-fed the answer to you. You watched it. It explained it to you in no small terms. You still don't understand what you saw? Like, how is that possible? How did you watch this, have it explained to you in very simple language, and still don't understand what you saw? That is truly frightening. I truly don't understand it. All right, is the barrage over? Can we get the civilians out, please? So it never ceases to shock me how bad the media literacy is in America. Oh, Dex, looks like you're gonna have your work cut out for you today. Keeping you on your toes. Now here's the question, is this the moment where the person accepts that they're getting kicked out because they're saying inappropriate things, or do they double down and now spend the rest of their day trying to troll me? Owen, good morning. Or good afternoon. Could be both. Could be evening. We had one person who was from somewhere, Maldrex, where it was evening. I also keep getting articles that the creator of My Hero Academia, I don't know if they're clickbait or not because I'm not clicking on them because I assumed that they're clickbait, but Hirokoshi apparently keeps changing the ending because people keep saying they're unhappy with the ending, and that makes me really sad to see if it's true that he keeps changing the ending, because once again, we're talking about people who can literally watch and see things and not understand the whole point of it. So don't change the ending for them, you know? It's morning where you're at? Excellent. Well, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Almost end to July. We've almost made it. We're officially more than halfway through the year, and we're almost 3/4 of the way through the year. It's almost time. It is almost time for my favorite time of year, where we get to start setting up Christmas stuff and playing Christmas carols. And I know people hate it, but I absolutely love Christmas songs, and I will positively start listening to those in October. I love me a good Christmas song. Give me all the Christmas songs I can handle. I know, Dex. I know that's upsetting to hear. I know people are Christmas song haters, but there's nothing that can beat a good Christmas song, a cold winter morning, a little bit of snow. Like, it truly is just the right peak magical. Going for a drive in the middle of the night because you can't sleep and seeing all the Christmas lights. I absolutely love Christmas. So I always get hyped for it, and I start a little bit early. However, Emmy, of course, loves Halloween, so we got to get the Halloween stuff first. We can't overshadow Halloween for the sake of Christmas. So we have to wait till the end of October. I want it to get dark early. I am excited for it to get darker earlier for photography. Oh, and this is Helldivers 2. It is a player versus environment game that came out in February of last year. It is on PC and PlayStation currently, but is coming to Xbox next month at the end of August. So if you haven't played it yet, it is definitely worth playing. 100% worth checking out. Great game. It is always hard when it takes so long to get dark, because I love playing in the darkness for photography. I like playing with light for photography, all those sorts of things. So when it gets dark earlier, it gives me a chance to go out right after work and do some photography and play around with like lights and Christmas lighting and darkness and all those sort of things. So I do very much enjoy when it gets dark earlier. But also the way our house is set up, our bedroom gets the late day sun, which absolutely sucks, because that means our bedroom is like the hottest room in the house, which makes it awful in the summer because it is always like 5-10 degrees warmer in the bedroom. Oh, excuse me. So that is another positive. When it gets darker sooner, it's not quite as warm in the bedroom, which is always needed. Alright, we got an explodey guy over here. Let's grab the EAT. Solve that problem. Oh, there's another problem. Let's solve that one. Ooh. Just barely survived. Today is supposedly our last terribly hot day. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. We've had so many terrible little heat waves coming and going. I think we're still going to get some hot weather into August, unfortunately. Let's warp away. Or just get pushed around. I need to cut down the tree in my backyard. I am rescuing the tree in my backyard from the blackberries. I have finally won the war on the blackberries, which is very exciting, because that has been a long and frustrating battle to try and win against the blackberries. But I finally chopped down the majority of the blackberries, and now I just got to free my tree from the blackberries. But holy cow, are blackberries awful to have to chop down. Finally, I got a weed whacker that is strong enough to pierce through blackberry branches, which is excellent, but also like scary how powerful that is. Like, if it can cut through a blackberry branch, then that thing could probably cut through my toe. And that is a very scary thought, to be wielding something that could easily chop through my toes, you know? So, gotta respect the power. It's been well over 100 degrees for the last week and a half. Yeah, it's been unbearably hot. It's great for photography, though. When you get that super bright sun, you can get some great photos that you couldn't usually get. So that's always cool, I guess. So there's that. Nice hat. So here's the cool thing about the hat. Are you ready? Are you ready for the coolest thing about the hat? Check this out. The hat is fully reversible for both Bluey and Bingo.
Today you've carved another foot in a long climb to liberty.
How cool is that? It is a reversible Bluey Bingo hat. I got it because I was ordering from Hot Topic, because Emmy wants to do Squid Games for Halloween, so I needed some stuff, and they had a pretty good Squid Game sweatshirt, so I can dress up as one of the guards. But it's one of those things where, like, if you spend enough money, you get free shipping. And I was like, well, if I order one more item, I'll get free shipping. And I saw the Bluey hat, and I was like, I really like that, so let's do it. So not only do I get to be Squid Games for Halloween, I now get a Bluey Bingo hat that is very adorable. So no regrets. Really enjoy it. I also saw Joy Toy is putting out a, not quite a hat, but it is a wearable Space Marine helmet from Warhammer 40k, and I'm tempted to get that because I got a Doom Guy helmet, I've got a Helldiver helmet. Like, I don't necessarily mind having a Warhammer helmet, but at the same time, it always goes back to, I know I've had this conversation a million times, like, would I actually do anything with it, or would I wear it once and then would just sit on my shelf for the rest of eternity? So I have decided not to get it because I don't want to buy something that's just going to sit there and do nothing.
Orbit synchronized.
So someone recently threw away a Bingo balloon in the dumpster, but there was enough helium in Bingo's eyes, they were just above the edge of the dumpster. So she was peeking out of the dumpster at you. That's kind of adorable. Let's see, let's grab the de-escalator, the warp pack, one of these, and one of those. And let's put on our anti-electric stuff. Perfect. And one of those for good measure. There we go. Bingo hit hard times. And I absolutely love the Bingo sleeping episode. They have like a book for it too, and the book is just beautifully illustrated, and I hope someday when we have a kid that we get to read them that book, because that is amazing. What is Calvinism? I don't know 100% off hand what it is. Let's see if we can see if there's an easy Oh, I remember. Calvinism, the main thing about Calvinists is that they believe in limited atonement and limited savior. Like, they believe that, like, God preordained who will make it to heaven, and those people know it. And, like, so it's basically like that when you're born, God chooses whether or not you're going to heaven, and you have no choice in the matter. Like, it's predestined by God, and whatever is. It is, it's a heresy is what it is. We'll put it that way. That's a very immature hat for a grown man to wear. You know, I don't think anyone is too old to enjoy Bluey. I truly enjoy Bluey. Just like My Little Pony, My Little Pony Generation 4 had some great messages, some good writing, some fun cartoons. Like, you're never too old to enjoy certain works, and Bluey definitely does a good job of mixing the adult and the childish. So I'm sorry that you're stuck in this toxic masculinity that, you know, oh, you're a grown man, you can't enjoy something whimsy or fun or cartoony. That is definitely a problem we have in our modern society, but that you don't need to be bound and beckoned and beholden to other people's ideals of what is or is not manly, or what is or is not appropriate for men to wear. That is something I think we could definitely work on as a society, as we're trying to teach young men to not become incels and black-pilled and red-pilled and all those other things. MLP comes with furry connotations. You know, we've talked, I know, like, from Peter's chat and all that, he definitely takes some issues with that side of the community. I don't necessarily have a problem with the furry community outright. They're like all fandoms, you know, there are people who partake in things that they shouldn't, and there are bad sides to the community, just like there's bad sides to every community. So I don't outright disown the MLP and the furry community, but there are some flaws in there. Speaking of My Little Pony, apparently there is a live action My Little Pony in the works currently. And I'm trying to figure out how the heck do they make that work? Do they mean live action, like they're just gonna have humans who represent the main six, or are they gonna try and like Disney it and CGI in the ponies in like a human world? Because that's gonna look awful. I guarantee that is gonna look absolutely awful if they try and do that. I really hope they don't try that one. What is black pilled? So you've got like the red pilling community, which is like the super like traditional quote based community. The black pill is like men going their own way and incel community, and it goes to like from passive quote base to like actively hating women and actively despising the world, and it's a bad thing. You don't want to be black pilled. It is a terrible movement that is very, very harmful, that is being influenced by a lot of the toxic alpha influencers who are out here peddling their garbage to young men and making them lose their way. It's a terrible movement. Don't be involved in it. Come on, reload faster. Reload faster, they're coming. Alright. Whoop, teleport in, teleport out. I really like this teleport thing. It is not Borderlands 4. I wish it was Borderlands 4. I would love to have some early access to Borderlands 4. I know there's a lot of controversy around Borderlands. I know a lot of people have some bad opinions about Borderlands because the CEO is out there saying some stupid things, but I still have hopes for Borderlands 4. So I'm gonna definitely enjoy Borderlands 4, but I don't have the highest hopes in the world for it. Because if a man is nice to me, I owe him sex. Obviously, how dare I think differently? That is such a terrible plight that has been in our society. And I can definitely talk with some accuracy about that, because I definitely, as a kid, was stuck in that mindset of, oh, if I'm nice enough to this girl, she'll like me eventually, I'll win her over. It was a toxic and terrible way to think, and I'm glad that I have learned differently, but I'm sympathetic to it, because I do understand how easy it is for people to get stuck in that line of thinking as a kid, because it makes some sense to you when you barely have any logic, and you're like, well, if I'm nice to them, then they'll be nice to me, and they'll see how good I am, and like the logic is sort of there, but it's not. It's teenage logic, right? It's not actually good logic. It's just barely formed enough there to to make some semblance of sense, enough to be dangerous. Luna, good morning. Sty, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. I love my vibes too. We try and keep it, calm and nice and a good way to start your mornings. One of the things when I talk about starting this is I saw all the streamers who are always like yelling and screaming and super loud, and that's not the vibes that I enjoy. I just like a more laid back, chill experience. So that's what I try and provide is good talk, good way to wake up and start the day, rather than lots of loud screaming. I try and tell people all the time, like, if you're embarrassed by your childhood, which you should be, that is a good thing, right? Because that means you have grown. If you look back at being a kid and say, oh man, I was so dumb, I was so embarrassing, I was so foolish, whatever it may be, like that is a good thing, because it means you have learned, it means you have grown, it means you have become better, and that is such a good thing. So yes, be embarrassed by your childhood, but everyone should be embarrassed by their childhood, because it means that they are growing up away from some of those bad, foolish, childish things that we were stuck in. It's actually evening in India. All right, another viewer from India. Welcome. We actually have, I would say probably about 30% of my viewers are from India. It's kind of cool, kind of really cool. I also saw someone say yesterday that I really, they said this really wonderful thing. I'm going to try and remember exactly how they said it, but they essentially said that if you share your joy with others, joy is doubled, and if you share your sorrow with others, then your sorrow is halved. And I thought that was an absolutely wonderful, wonderful mindset to have on sharing both your joy and sorrow can multiply or divide it. I thought that was a really nice saying. Thunder, Night Shadow, Jesus loves you and died for you. Yes, we fully believe that here. We are fully on Team Jesus in this chat. Just woke up, was getting mad at myself for stupid mistakes. Good to mature and grow up, though. Yeah, we have all made stupid mistakes. Very, very stupid, awful things. Emmy and I were just talking about not long ago, back when I was a young adult, like even in my 20s, I was a pretty notorious internet troll. I spent way too much of my time purposefully trolling people, making them angry. I deeply regret that, and I'm deeply embarrassed by it, but I am glad to say that I have grown out of the internet trolling phase and have become a much better person now. But I was very much deep into the internet trolling for quite a long time, and I am very embarrassed by that now. Alright, let's see if they nerf the de-escalator. Can I still pop this guy with 6 good shots from here? Well, that works too. that works too. Someone else can blow him up. Alright, we need samples. Hopefully today is payday. We were going to buy the Lord of the Rings game. As I said, Lord of the Rings game got really terrible reviews, so I am not going to waste my money on that right now. But we are going to pick up Grimshire, which is a Stardew Valley clone with some really interesting mechanics around starvation. So we will have some new, quote, cozy games to play here soon. And Death Stranding 2 is coming in the mail from Gamefly, so we will get to enjoy Death Stranding 2 here soon. I really didn't enjoy the first one, so I don't know how much we'll actually enjoy Death Stranding, but we're gonna try. We're gonna give it a try. I've heard some great things about it. So, Outer World, you know, is Outer World the puzzle one? Because I know there was 2 games that came out at the same time. There was Outer World and Outer Wilds. I'm pretty sure Outer Wilds was the puzzle game, and that one I could not get into. I just, for some reason, Outer Wilds never clicked with me, and I never played Outer World because I thought it was Outer Wilds because they both released at the same time with basically the same name. So, is Outer World the looter shooter one? Because I missed out on that one, and I've heard that was a decent game, so I'm kind of sad I missed out on that one because I've heard that it was actually a pretty good game, not like the greatest game of all time or anything, but it was good for what it was. Unless I'm getting those mixed up. Do I have it backwards? Let's get a sentry. I am out of ammo. Let's reload. It's a space RPG. Okay, yeah. So Outer World is the one that I wanted to play and I missed out on. Outer Wild is the one that I did play and did not enjoy. But I've heard great things. Like, for people who enjoy those kind of games, Outer Wild apparently is an out of this world, ironically, experience. Like, I've heard Outer Wilds is a 10 out of 10 for the kind of people who enjoy those games. Excuse me. I guess I'll have to try Outer World. I'll put that one on the list. I wanted to play that one. I missed out on that one. Maybe I should add it to the backlog. My dreaded super long backlog that I am slowly making my way through. I'll tell you what other game I really want to get. If it's on sale, we're going to play it. Alien Isolation. I have heard that Alien Isolation is the scariest game ever made and the most thematic and fun game. I've heard so many good things about it. I really want to play that game and really get scared by it. So we're going to play that one on stream since I am a coward. You are going to be held accountable to sit here and hold my hand while we try and play through Alien Isolation, because I've heard that one is absolutely terrifying to play. Excited for definitely be streaming Metal Gear Solid Delta. I am so hyped for Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'm really hoping that they keep all the Easter eggs in. Shout out to my brother Holden Tudix. One of the things that like made Metal Gear Solid 3 great was like all the Easter eggs and the small things, like being able to beat the end before you actually fight him, or being able to starve him out. All those different little ways to beat bosses and interesting mechanics like that. I really hope that we get all of those in Metal Gear Solid Delta. I hope they didn't sanitize the game or remove some of those cool things. So, really, really hoping all those things are still present. I don't see why they would remove them, but I just, you always worry when someone remakes your favorite game that they're gonna mess it up, right? They showed all the monkeys from the secret missions. That is excellent that they included those. That's a very good sign. And like my favorite Easter egg in the game, my absolute favorite Easter egg in that one, and this is one that I'm going to test to see if they put in there, is when there's a vulture around. It's a very special interaction. Basically, you have to find a guard, you have to drag him to where the vultures are at, you have to take out the guard, wait for a vulture to fly down and consume the dead guard, and then you have to shoot the vulture and then eat the vulture. And if you do all of that, then when you fight the Sorrow, you'll get a special message where this guy will attempt to kill you, and he'll scream it like, "You ate me! You monster! You ate me!" And that is like one of my favorite little Easter eggs. So I hope that one is still in the game too. I absolutely love that. But it's one of those things like, how do you even figure that Easter egg out? And I can tell you how I figured that Easter egg out, because I thought, I wonder how long I can make this Sorrow section, right? Because the Sorrow makes you face all the people that you have killed in the game. So if you're playing Metal Gear the right way and not harming anyone, it's a very chill and easy boss because you're just like walking through a river. If you play Metal Gear Solid the way that I play Metal Gear Solid, it's a 30-minute fight for your life because there's 1.5 million people running at you because you've sat there and destroyed people for hours and hours and hours on end. So, we will see. We will see. But I hope that Easter egg is still in there. I also love, like, I don't know why I loved this so much, but I really did also love, like, crawling around near the spiders and getting bitten by all the different spiders and seeing the different effects of, like, the different poisonous spiders and snakes and seeing how they all impact you. Like, my poor snake, my poor rookie snake got poisoned, bitten, eaten by alligators, so many terrible things in the name of science. As a Sam Fisher fan, I feel sad because we don't have a new Splinter Cell. We definitely deserve a new Splinter Cell. I honestly, like, I wouldn't even hate if they remade the first Splinter Cell. Like, Splinter Cell was a good game, so if they just did a lazy remake of the original, I would still accept that. Like, Splinter Cell definitely deserves some more love. Splinter Cell does. You know what else does is Rainbow Six. I know we have Rainbow Six Siege, but Rainbow Six Siege is not Rainbow Six, right? We deserve an actual Rainbow Six game to come out. It looks like we're getting smoke whether we like it or not. we deserve a true Rainbow Six tactical game. Like, Ready or Not has really filled that void, but I feel like they could do so good with Rainbow Six. I'm excited that no two snakes are going to look the same at the end of every game. Whatever damage you take, even if you heal, will become a bruise or a scar on your snake. My snake will then look like a MMA fighter after a losing bout, because I'm going to have so many cuts and scars and bullet wounds, and I'm going to... Because I play the game so incorrectly. So... My snake is gonna look like a chewed up piece of gum, unfortunately. That is an awesome feature, though. That is a very excellent feature. My snake would look like Deadpool. I know this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but now that we've had Wolverine and Deadpool, I hope the Deadpool craze is over. I've never liked Deadpool, so if we're finally past Deadpool and we no longer have to deal with Deadpool anymore, I'll be very happy if we no longer have to deal with Deadpool. What are your opinion on the Dying Light games? I really enjoyed Dying Light 1. Dying Light 2 I felt was a little bit of a bummer. Like, I like the parkouring system. I like the world that they've built. I like just free roaming around the city. But for some reason, Dying Light 2 just didn't hit right. It's still a good game. I still enjoyed it and played it through, but I have not, for whatever reason, it didn't stick with me the way I thought it would. Like, everything's there, it's just something is missing from the game. I can't put my finger on what exactly with Dying Light is missing for me, you know? Have I checked out that trailer yet? I keep forgetting to check out that trailer, Martin, and I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to look up that trailer, because basically as soon as I'm done streaming, I go right into my actual day job and work my my 10-hour day job, and then I'm doing dishes and chores around the house, so I usually get distracted right after stream to go do my day job. Scared for my snake because I fell into the same play style as you, where I fight against the Sorrow was real tough. I'll tell you, the Sorrow was a super frustrating fight as a kid who had no internet. I could not for the life of me figure out how to beat the Sorrow because of the fake out death ending, and I couldn't figure out what it was trying to ask me to do, and that frustrated me so bad. Alright, let's deliver this egg. The new Dying Light game, Dying Light the Beast, is pretty cool as far as I've been hearing. What is that one about? Is that the one, is the Beast going to be, I thought it was like a DLC. Is it a totally standalone game? I thought it was just like a continuation of Dying Light 2. Is it different? I'm out of touch on that one. I want another Metal Gear Revengeance. You know, I have Metal Gear Revengeance is on the is also on the backlog. I bought the game to play on stream. But I have not played it yet. So that is another game that is on the list. Martin, I haven't watched the trailer yet. No, I get distracted after work with doing my regular job. I keep forgetting to do that. Dex, send that guy to the Shadow Realm. Have you played Project Iggy, IGI? No, I've not heard of that game. What is that one? It's a totally standalone game. As far as I've been hearing, it takes place after the main story of the Dying Light game. What's your regular job? I cannot discuss my regular job, unfortunately, because I work in a sensitive area, and there is a chance that I could lose said job if people saw my stream and were upset by some of the things I've said here. So I do not share my day job or anything about it out of fear of internet retaliation, unfortunately, which is an unfortunate thing that we have to face in our society, but it is what it is. It's like Metal Gear Solid. I will check that out then, because I love Metal Gear, so if we can get more Metal Gear, that is always a good thing. It is a shame. I hate that we live in a society where if you say something that someone disagrees with, your entire life can be ruined, and you can lose your job and lose your house and all those different things. Like, I understand it for some things, like you have a lot of the super right-wing influencers who are out there saying inappropriate things who are facing consequences for their actions. I don't mind consequences for your actions, but and I know that people disagree and say, oh, well, there's no such thing as Christian persecution or prosecution. There definitely is. There are people who definitely hate Christians for no other reason than they hate Christianity and will do things against them simply because they hate Christians, and that we see that happen, and I don't want to be a victim of that. So it's made by an Eastern European company. I will definitely try and remember to check that one out after stream, because I need more Metal Gear in my life. I love me some Metal Gear, so I'm sad that Hideo Kojima is no longer allowed to make Metal Gear games. But I'm also glad, I'm glad that, like, it's bittersweet, right? Like, on one hand, we no longer get Metal Gear, which is a huge sorrow. But we now have Hideo Kojima, who is absolutely unbound to the stakeholders and can make whatever game he wants to make, and that is how we got Death Stranding, which is an absolutely bonkers game in so many ways. So if him no longer being beckon and beholden to Sony and all that means that we get more things like Death Stranding, I am here for it. Show me your absolutely bonkers idea, Hideo Kojima. Show me what you got. So it's bittersweet. It's just cancellation culture, and so it's a tough conversation, right? Because like I said, there are some people who are just truly facing like consequences for their actions, and I have no problem for consequences with your actions, and I don't like it when people blame it on cancel culture for like, oh, I went and said these very hateful things and now I lost my job. That's not cancel culture. That is truly just consequences for your actions. But there is a level of cancel culture, and I think that people truly get the two mixed up occasionally. Again, where it's like, is it a consequence for your action or is it cancel culture? And there's a fine line on that one. The other day on Reddit for my local city, I saw a post where someone complaining that there were protesters out downtown holding signs and supporting traditional marriages. I guess the only people who can protest are the people who agree with you. And that's another one of those things, right? Like, everyone has a right to protest. And I know that there's been some very, very right-wing protests that have had some very bad messages out there that people have tried to get to cancel. But it truly is. Something is only a right if everyone has access to it, right? So if someone's not allowed to protest something that you disagree with or agree with, then it's not truly a right. If you have a right to protest, then that means that you have a right to protest. And it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree. Everyone should have that same right. And I know that's a very difficult concept for some people, but that is, it's same thing with free speech, right? And same thing with freedom of a religion. If it's truly a freedom, that means it is a freedom for everyone. It can't just be occasionally or only for people I like or people I agree with or things like that, right? It has to be truly for everyone. A Christian was arrested in the UK for public prayer, a lady, if I remember correctly. So that was a unique scenario. So let me see if I can remember the whole scenario to make sure that we give the full story for it. It wasn't just praying in public. What she did was she was intentionally going into an area where you are not allowed to pray, and she was praying there as a form of peaceful protest against abortion. So she did make it known that she was going into an area where she wasn't allowed to pray, and she was specifically praying for things she wasn't allowed to pray for, and was particularly doing this as a form of protest. So it wasn't just like, oh, hey, lady, you're praying, you're going to jail. She very specifically said, yes, I am praying, and I'm praying in this area that I know that I'm not allowed to pray in, for a thing I know I'm not allowed to pray for. Was it right? No, it's absolutely, that is the closest thing we have to the thought police currently in the world. The fact that the government thinks that they can make a non-prayer zone is absolutely bonkers to me, but that is where we are at. I just saw the article and threw away the newspaper. Yeah, when you read into it, there is a little bit more to the story, but it doesn't make the story any better, unfortunately. It definitely is a government overstep. And I understand, like, what they're trying to do is, because outside these sensitive abortion clinics, what they're trying to do is make it so that protesters can't stand outside and change people's minds or pressure people in any way. They're trying to make it a safe experience for people. I understand the intent they're trying to go for, but I definitely don't agree with it in any way, shape, or form. Aman, welcome in. It definitely seems like massive government overreach for the government to say, we can make it so you can't pray in these areas. That's bad on many different levels. And again, that's for all things, right? Like, as a Christian, obviously I have a bias towards Christianity, but if our government came out and said, you know what, we're going to make this a zone where you're not allowed to pray to any other religion other than Christianity, I would be against that. Right? Because again, freedom has to mean for everyone. It can't just mean for me. What are we talking about here? We were talking about in the UK, there was a lady who was arrested for praying outside of a medical clinic because she was praying in a no prayer zone. And I was giving a little bit more context about the story itself and why she was arrested and the laws around it and all of that. It's kind of like we just got a thing from the White House yesterday that there was an article that the president was trying to say that we should allow more conversation in the workplace. And he said it should be acceptable for you to go up to coworkers and try and convert them in the workplace to your religion. And he very obviously is trying to help Christians out here. But I really think that it is a gross way of going about it. Saying that you should be able to convert people in the workplace isn't going to work out the way that I think that it's going to work. No prayer zone, is that a real thing? So it's somewhere in Europe. I want to say in the UK. There's basically the areas around abortion clinics are considered protected squares. So you're not allowed to protest. You're not allowed to pray. You're not allowed to go there with any intent to dissuade or interact with the people who are going into the clinic. So it's not specifically a no prayer zone. It is specifically a no protesting zone. It's specifically a protected zone that is meant to keep people from interfering with people who are going in to get that procedure done. But what it means in effect truly does mean it is a no prayer zone. Now, had the lady just sat there quietly and not said anything, I don't think she would have been arrested. So the fact that she intentionally went out and said, yes, I am purposefully breaking this law and I am purposefully praying for these people, meant that there was action taken against her. I think if she had just not said anything, then she wouldn't have been impacted. And that's where protest is so hard, right? Because prayer doesn't work in that manner, right? You don't have to tell other people you're praying for them for your prayers to work. You don't have to be near them to pray for them to make it work. So she could have stood outside the zone and prayed for them quietly and had the same effect. So she very clearly was doing it as a form of protest to get attention on it. And that's why I'm half and half on those, right? We shouldn't go out telling people, I hate when people weaponize prayer where it's like, oh, I disagree with you. Oh, don't worry, I'll pray for your soul. Like such a smarmy jerk way of oh, you're wrong. So I'm going to win this argument by saying I'm going to pray for you because I'm just so much better than you. I absolutely despise that. So I really dislike weaponized prayer. But at the same time, she was bringing attention to something that she disagreed with, and she definitely did it in an effective manner because that happened in, I want to say 2021, 2022. So it's been years, and we are still talking about it, right? So obviously that is an effective form of protest if we're still talking about it and it's still bringing issues to light, right? So I don't know how I feel about it, but that should be enough context for you to be able to make an educated decision for yourself on what actually happened and what what it means. This is off topic, but your background is awesome. Thank you. I wanted to commission a background. What I told the artist was that I needed something that moved around so that when people are just strolling by through TikTok, like they'd be like, oh, or YouTube, not TikTok. When people are scrolling by, like, oh, hey, that's interesting. What is that? So I needed it to be interesting enough to catch someone's eye, to make them stop and say, huh, who is this person? What are they doing? But I needed to be uninteresting enough that it didn't take away from me talking or my gameplay or anything like that. And I think the artist absolutely nailed it, honestly. I think they absolutely nailed the right amount of attention grabbing, but not so obnoxious that it distracts. So kudos to the artist. They did a great job on it. I get a lot of great art from artists on Fiverr, and people often ask me, well, how do you get such great art? Well, one, I'm really picky about my artists. But two, when I commission an artist, the first thing I tell them is, like, I am not a artist in that way. I do not draw, I do not create, I do not do any of that. So, like, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job because you are the artist, you are the creative one, you know what you're doing. So I want you to create what you think looks best and what works best, rather than me telling you I want it this way and it has to be done this way and I want it to look this way. Like, I tell those artists, you're the artist, you have complete freedom because you know what looks good, I don't. Bubble's here. Good morning, Bubble.
Liberty smiles upon your trail.
What time is it? We got time for one more. We got time for one more. And then it's time to go start the day, unfortunately. Then it's time to go to work. I gotta cut the grass. I don't know if I should do it or take the whooping. You should do it. Cutting the grass is something I always despised as a kid, but as you get older, I think when you hit a certain age, it's kind of like bird watching, right? When you get old enough, you kind of find this this peacefulness to it. This I don't think Zen state is the right word for it, but it's peaceful, it's soothing, it's enjoyable. So take heart that eventually you will learn to like cutting the grass. We have a saying where I come from: leave the bread to the baker. Exactly. That is exactly correct. I'm not a baker, so I wouldn't tell a baker how to bake a loaf of bread. I am not a drawing artist, so I'm not going to tell them how to create the art. I'll give them the idea of what they, what I want and what I'm looking for, but I'm going to absolutely leave it up to them to actually create the masterpiece. I pay someone to mow my lawn. I mean, I get that too. Right? Like, we only have so much time in this world, so if you can afford to have someone else take the chores that you don't like doing off your list, that is also a very good thing. Like, I totally get, if I had the money for it, if I could absolutely afford it, I 100% understand why people get, like, private shoppers and private chefs. Like, if I could make it so I never had to worry about thinking what's for dinner, going to the grocery store, dealing with Costco, dealing with the huge crowds at Costco, and I just always had a good meal, like, I would absolutely pay for that.
Launch initiated.
It's just, a private shopper and private chef is very expensive, as it should be. Those are skills. People deserve to be paid a living wage. But I definitely would love to save that time. Definitely would love to save that time.
The fate of all humanity.
I just want to play with my action figures. There is There is an action figure I've been debating whether I should go get. That I keep getting ads for a super articulated blank doll sort of dude. And it looks like a lot of fun to do like stop motion photography with and play around with. So I kind of want to get it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm being victimized by ads on it, you know? Why does the stream say Lord of the Ring reviews? So the Lord of the Review, the full title is Lord of the Ring reviews are in. I guess we're not playing that because, oh, excuse me. I promised that this stream was going to be a Lord of the Rings stream for the new Tales of the Shire game that just came out. But the reviews for that game were so awful, I decided not to buy it and waste my money. So that is my way of apologizing. I know I promised us a Lord of the Rings review. However, we're not going to burn our money on it. Like I said, the best review that I've seen for it so far is it's not as bad as people say it is, and that's a pretty condemning review when people are like, well, it's bad, but it's not that bad. And the game truly does look like it came out of PlayStation 2 era. Do you play Darktide? No, I refuse to play Darktide because I played Darktide when it first came. I was an early supporter of Darktide. Really enjoyed the game. And I was playing it when it first came out, and I was pushing the very, very, very hard content. Like, I was going very, very hard into the game. And I got to the end levels of the game, the highest difficulty. And what happened was I would join a game. I would carry that game on my back. I'd be doing hard work. I'd be, doing everything I could, and then people decided it would be fun to troll you by making you do all the work, and at the very end, they would kick you from the game and waste all your time and waste all your resources. And I took it to the devs, and I went to the forums and said, hey, this is really unfun and unfair that you can put in a half an hour of work into the game, and then the leader of the group can just kick you at the very end and waste all your time and take away all your resources. And they basically said that's intended. So I said, okay, if that's your intended experience, I can't change your mind, but that makes for a terrible game. I will never buy or support your game again, and thus I have boycotted and never played their games or enjoyed them or talked good about them at all, because that was such a horrible experience that I just never wanted to touch it ever again. All right, Mel, thanks for hanging out. Have a good day. Enjoy work. Get through that Wednesday. It was messed up. Like Helldivers has a similar thing. Like you used to be able to get kicked from Helldivers, you'd lose your progress, and that was awful. And they fixed it. They made it so the game just makes you on your own private server and you don't lose any of your progress. That's all they needed to do, and they just refused to implement it. So, have you played Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War? I absolutely love both of those games. I love Shadow of Mordor. I love Shadow of War. I thought they were excellent games. I think you could spend hours and hours and hours playing around with the Nemesis system. It's so fun to just run around the world and destroy random named creatures and watch them come back. Like, I think Shadow of War is one of the funnest games. I usually go through and play it about once a year, every 2 years. I go back and enjoy it because it's just such a fun game to go back and enjoy. It is such a good game. I wish we would get another one. I know that the Wonder Woman game was supposed to have the Nemesis system. I thought that was going to be interesting, but I'm pretty sure that the Wonder Woman game is now officially dead. I'm pretty sure that it's never coming out. I'm pretty sure it's officially canceled. So there goes the Nemesis system, where we're never going to see it in another game ever again. And it's so frustrating that it's locked behind some sort of copyright that it's just going to sit there for the next 20 years not being used. Awful. I completely forgot there was a Wonder Woman game. That's the thing, is I'm pretty sure there's not a Wonder Woman game. I'm pretty sure it's dead in the water, canceled, never going to see the light of day. Again, huge disappointment, huge bummer. Did you see GTA 6 release date getting pushed back again? I did not see that. Doesn't surprise me. Definitely doesn't surprise me that it's getting pushed back again. It's just going to be a meme at this point. I want a Superman game after the new movie. I didn't see the new Superman movie. I'm tired of them rebooting Batman and Superman movies. I want some new superheroes already. Stop rebooting Batman. Stop rebooting Superman. We've seen them. We get it. We're tired of it. Give us some new superheroes. Also, I know it's popular or unpopular. I really do think that Superman is the most boring superhero of all time. And people tell me when I say that, like, oh, you don't understand Superman. Like, it's not supposed to be the thrill of, is he going to win the fight? You know he's going to win the fight because he's Superman. The enjoyable part about Superman is watching him struggle with his humanity and to do the right thing with all the power he has. And I sort of get that, but it also, like, okay, I understand your point, but also if that's the point of Superman, how many times can you make it interesting saying, well, he's never going to lose the fights because he's Superman. It's supposed to be about him doing the right thing with power. Like, that's interesting once, and there's like 1,000 Superman movies and comics, right? So, like, it's interesting the first time, but now you can't lean back on that excuse, so give us something interesting. Or give us a Green Lantern movie. I know the last Green Lantern movie wasn't good, but Green Lantern's my favorite, so give us a good Green Lantern movie. I used to hate him solely because of his bland superpowers. Geode the Rock solos all of Marvel. Someone thinks Superman is boring. His powers are so boring. He's just overpowered, but everyone loves him. I don't understand the love for Superman. Green Lantern was in Superman? Was he? Which Green Lantern was it? Was it Hal Jordan? This is Bingo. This is Bingo from Bluey. Can't wait to see Lobo. Okay, I will watch the Superman movie for Green Lantern because I love Green Lantern. You know what as Guy Gardner? Interesting. You've got this really great series from DC. Dave, good morning. You've got this great series called The Darkest Knight, and in the comics for The Darkest Knight, everyone from the Justice League got Green Lantern rings. Batman was a Black Lantern. Wonder Woman, I think, was a White Lantern. And all the superheroes got Lantern rings. And that was super interesting because the supervillains also got Lantern rings. Why don't they turn that into a movie series? Give me Batman with a Black Lantern ring. Give me Superman with a White Lantern ring. Give me Scarecrow with a Yellow Lantern ring. Like, that sounds interesting. Why are you remaking Batman for the millionth time? We can make Batman like Heavy Metal Batman. If you haven't looked it up, look up Heavy Metal Batman. Because in that series, Batman rides around on the Grim Reaper's motorcycle with the Grim Reaper's scythe, and he has a Black Lantern ring of death and is raising a necromancer army to fight the Bat Who Laughs. Like, that is really cool. Give me that. Yeah, there's a comic where they had a ring. That was the Darkest Knight, the Darkest Knight campaign. That was a whole comic book series. Give us a movie of that. Give us a Marvel Cinematic Universe of each one with their ring. That sounds way cooler than anything they've given us so far. But if you haven't looked up, look up the Heavy Metal Batman. The Batman Who Laughs is one of my favorite modern villains. All right, Amon, have a good day. We'll see you next time. Bat Who Laughs is pretty awesome. Red Lantern is dope. Red Lantern Rage. I like the Orange Lantern Creed is one of my favorite. It always makes me laugh. Because Orange Lantern is greed, so it's what's yours, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine, and everything is mine, mine. And that's their creed. We need an absolute Batman. You know, I've read the first 2 comic books of Absolute Batman, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. Like, the whole gimmick is supposed to be he doesn't have superpowers, he just has the power of whey protein and uses an axe. But I have a feeling that just like every other Batman, they're going to turn it into Batman becomes some sort of demigod within 10 or 20 episodes because that's his whole shtick is, oh, I'm a mere mortal, but I'm immune to bullets. I'm so smart, I can do everything. And I don't know. I think that I think they're gonna ruin it. But we'll see. You know, it's still early in its run. I want to read more of, but my problem with comics is my same problem with manga, and the reason I don't read manga. I want to read comics. I enjoyed reading the 2 comics that I've read for Absolute Batman, but the problem is that you pay, what, $7, $10, $15 for a comic book, you read it, it takes 5 minutes to read, and then it just sits on your shelf forever, right? So, like, if you buy every Absolute Batman, you're going to be paying hundreds of dollars for things that are just going to sit on your shelf for the rest of eternity and do nothing, and that just seems like such a waste of money to me. So I want to read it, I want to enjoy it, but I'll wait for like the library to get a compendium of Absolute Batman or something. That way I'm not just having the books sit on my shelf. Same thing with like the Delicious in Dungeon Meshi. They have a box of the manga, and I absolutely love Dungeon Meshi on Netflix. Is one of the best animes I've seen in a long time. If you haven't watched Delicious in Dungeon, go watch Delicious in Dungeon. Absolute mastercraft. And I want the box set, but at the same time, like, the box set's just gonna sit there and do nothing, right? It seems like a waste. Lillian, welcome, good morning. Absolute Batman is just Batman if you use steroids. Can I tell a joke? As long as it's appropriate, we can hear a joke. You know you can reread books, yes? You're running Helldivers on... This is on PC. This is Helldivers on PC. You can reread books, but, like, maybe I'm going to fail my nerd test here. Maybe I'm going to look like an absolute moron or ignorant, but, like... well, why would I reread the book? Like, I already know what's going to happen. Like... Why would you reread the comic book? Nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same story you already read, right? Maybe I just haven't enjoyed a book enough to have ever wanted to reread it, but it seems like I already know what's going to happen, so why would I reread the book? Alright, this is a Siri joke. That should be okay. Let's hear the Siri joke. Great game, just touched level 60 myself. New Warbond. I love the new Warbond. Well, why do you have mixed feelings on the Warbond? I love everything in the new Warbond so much. I hope that this Warbond is the standard for all Warbonds going forward. I would love if every Warbond was as good as this one. Rereading stuff makes it kind of boring. Like, I get, like, rewatching TV shows, because there's a lot going on there, right? There's a lot of information. There are things you miss. There are things you forget about. There are good joke deliveries. There's good acting. There's a lot of good things like that. But with a book, it's just a book. I asked Siri, check my bank account, tell me what Apple products I can afford. Siri says apple juice. That's a good one. I like that. I will say, though, I saw someone once, they posted about making reading more metal to get kids into reading. And they were talking about how reading is basically staring at a dead tree and hallucinating stories. And, like, maybe not technically the most correct thing, but I will say that is a pretty awesome way to describe reading to get people into it, is staring at a dead tree and hallucinating grand stories. Not a fan of the special weapon, but I'm with you on the layout and the weapons and things. Blackjack, hello. I'm also excited because it seems like they're working on allowing us to change the color of the armor. So if we can finally get like the hideous butcher armor, the green armor, and make it black or yellow, like I will definitely super enjoy that. You read One Piece? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. Batman is the worst superhero ever. I don't know that I'd put him as the worst superhero. The worst superhero ever is Deadpool. Deadpool is the worst superhero by a mile. I just got in the live stream. What are you playing? We are playing Helldivers 2. Like, Deadpool is... Oh, I'm a fan of all comics. DC, Dark Horse, Marvel, give me all of them. Like, Deadpool is, oh, he's immortal and he can't die, and all he says is cringy things to break the fourth wall. Like, there's nothing interesting about him. Can a Switch run Helldivers? I don't believe Helldivers is on Switch, so no. But I have played it on a Asus ROG Ally, which is like a Steam Deck, and it can run on a Steam Deck. So in theory, it might be able to run on a Switch too, honestly. Would it be the most beautiful thing? No. But I think it could run on a Switch too. Deadpool's not a superhero, though. He's a mercenary. I mean, he teams up with Spider-Man. He's got superpowers. He's sometimes a hero. That makes him a superhero, right? Like, superhero to me is a catch-all term for anyone who has a silly costume and any sort of powers. And even then, like Kick-Ass. Would you consider Kick-Ass a superhero? He's got a costume. He technically has powers. I think he falls in the realm of superhero, you know? Deadpool is kind of, that's what I'm saying. Deadpool is the most annoying hero of all time. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with that. 100%. 100%. No lies said here. All right, Corey, thank you for the subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a great day. Have a good Wednesday. Unfortunately, it is time for me to end my stream as well. I gotta go do chores and get ready for the workday. Hello from Canada. Hello from Canada. That is cool, Canada. Batman is a psychopath. He is the worst thing about Gotham City. I mean, that's a pretty bold claim, Dex. There's a lot of terrible things about Gotham City. I don't think Batman is the worst thing from Gotham City. All right, go cut the grass. As always, we are going to end with our prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Lord, today we pray for all the victims of the earthquake and tsunami that has been hitting the earth. Lord, help anyone who is impacted by it, anyone who has had their life impacted by it. Lord, help them. We pray for all the people starving, all the people who are going without food, whether that be in Gaza, the Middle East, whether it's in our own backyards, anyone who is not having enough food. Lord, help them. We pray for the people who are considering the vocation of the priesthood. Lord, help to make more priests. We pray for all the people who are suffering from illness, whether it be mental illness, physical illness, whatever ails them. Lord, help them. We pray for all the people struggling with anxiety, especially. Lord, help them. And finally, we pray for all the souls in purgatory, all the souls who've been forgotten, all the souls who have no one left to pray for them. Lord, help them. All this we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All right, everyone, that does it for me. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for all the new subscribers, all the new chatters. For everyone who is new here, I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So no stream tomorrow, but I will be back at it 5 a.m. Pacific time on Friday. So have a blessed day, everyone, and I will see you again on Friday.